What's up, everyone? It's DV, and we're back in Haunt on Roblox. This is a Doors-inspired game. It's pretty fresh, meaning it just came out recently, and it started to grow really quick. If you didn't see my previous videos that I made on this game, that's okay, because you're going to get a good look at it in this video right now. So today I'm going to be showing you how to beat the game. It is actually a little easier than Doors in some ways, okay? In some ways it's not, in many ways it is. So you first start in this room, just hit the green button, obviously. Also, I recommend lowering your graphics quality down to about 3. 3 seems to be most optimal, but you know, you could try 1 or 2. You just got to go up to talk to Timmy here. He's going to say different things depending on, you know, your status. He remembers me because I've played it multiple times. Now you're going to need to escape the underground town. That's the objective here, just like Doors, basically room 100. You can see right here, we got a bunch of items you can purchase with coins. So the coins persist just like knobs and doors. The barrels, by the way, are equivalent to like drawers inside Doors. So that's pretty much the only place you really need to look for loot if you're looking for loot. Or you could also find chests every now and then, which require a crowbar. They also have these buildings that are locked. They have some, you know, sometimes loot inside of them. Most of the time they don't, but you'll see I kind of just look inside each of these each time just to see if there's a chest visible, because sometimes you can find chests at the bottom floor. Sometimes they're upstairs as well, but I'm not going to waste my keys or time on these buildings unless I can see a chest is right there inside. So there's a lot less entities currently in this game, so that makes it a lot easier. You're not going to have like rush, ambush. You got, you know, inside Doors, they have Screech. They've got so many different things indoors. There's a lot more dangers indoors, especially ambush, that this game does not have. The main one you have in here is just going to be the Rat, which is kind of like the equivalent, I guess, of a Seek. And then you also have Raven, which I'm going to show you how to handle in a little bit here. You'll see, yeah, here's Raven. Basically, it's Rush. So, you know, you'll see the flicker. And as long as the lights don't go completely out, then you need to hide. But if you get that flicker, you got to hide. Just wait for the Ravens here to start staring at you. Your movement's gonna slow drastically, by the way, but there he goes. Always wait for the color to come back before you, you know, jump out, because if it's still black and white, that means he's still there and he could probably kill you. Also, you can see right there, those ropes on the floor. You want to avoid these ropes on the floor. That is like basically like the equivalent of snares, but they're worse. The ropes, I've died more to ropes than any other entity in the game. So a little bit later in the different stages or rooms, you're going to see this like please donate style area. It's actually really cool. Essentially, this is like your mini shop, but you're buying stuff from other players using Robux. So it's basically like a combination of please donate, but you could buy items from other players. So this is like their marketplace, but you use Robux, not coins or anything like that. You use Robux. So now we're at the first mini boss stage. This is Skull, and I'm going to explain how to beat this section. So Skull cannot see you, but he can smell you and he can hear you. So what you want to do is immediately crouch. And then what you're going to do is look for these little stones. They're kind of like, you can hear them. Usually they're kind of like hearing hints, you know, inside Doors, where you get that really like high pitched, you know, ringing sound. That's when you know you're near a stone. But you see these podiums? If you look at that podium, it had a little symbol on the floor, and we need that one. It looks like an X. So now you need to find a stone that looks just like that around the map. Since we're solo, we only have to do 3 of them. But if you do like more players, I think it can be like 4 or 5, potentially more. So it's way easier as solo because you only have 3 that you got to find. The downside is you got to do this solo. I mean, you're by yourself. So pretty much look around in all of these different rooms. You're listening for ringing more than anything. And it does make, I think, a little bit of a particle effect, but there's one right there, and we got the X one. So we saw that symbol a little bit earlier. It was inside the green room where the throne is. So we just have to be careful, be mindful of his paths. He pretty much goes in the same rooms almost every single time. But here we go. Just go and interact with it. When I first made my video, it was a lot harder to complete this room or this boss, but now it's way easier because you don't have to do it in a particular order. You gotta find all the stones, and then there's an L one right there. But then you got to just return them to the shrine. I'll call them shrines or podiums or whatever you want to call them. So we know the one that's in here, and we just got to go find that. It's like a J shape, kind of like a backwards J or more like an L. And then upstairs is a triangle, and there's one right here, and fortunately it's the L looking symbol. So we just need to go to the room that we were just in right here. Bring that back. And you just got to be careful because you can die to him very easily. So we're just going to hide in this corner for a second, and he's going to come in. There he goes. and then he can go out. So he doesn't really ever return to the same spot. Unlike figures, kind of harder. He's a lot easier because you can, you know, predict where he's moving. There's one on the table right here. You can see the little sparkles. So this is the triangle. We know where that one is. Again, he's faster too. The more you complete, similar to figure, the more you complete, the faster he is. So let's go ahead and drop that in. And now we can just run out. All right, we're out of there. And he says, a giant skeleton, what's next? So yeah, there are new bosses ahead. So there's the big eye guy, Shadow, as well as the final Raven map. So we're going to get over there right now. We're just going to take a peek in here. Oh, there's a chest. So now you need a red house key. I already have one here. I saved it from earlier. And so just open it. You have to have the right color keys. Sometimes you have to have like a candy shop key. You got motel keys. You got like red key. You got blue keys. And you got to use a crowbar. And sometimes there's really good loot in here. You can get like really good potions. And, you know, again, if you're into earning Robux in this game, you could resell those. I haven't done a tutorial on that. I might do one later. We got to hide for Raven. But I might do a tutorial later on that because it's pretty cool. Like, you can make a lot of Robux in this game, especially since it just hit like, it's almost hitting like 1,000 players now. There he goes. So wait for color. There we go. We can get out. Here's the next boss. So this is Eye Gloom. One thing you got to do is avoid looking at any of his guys. So keep your head down and be careful of ropes. There are so many ropes in this map that you're probably going to get roped and get killed by that. So the only two dangers in this room are not the actual Eye Gloom, unless you look at him, of course, but his little eyes kind of things that spawn. So if you look at them, they're going to do machine gun damage similar to eyes inside of doors. Pretty much the same entity. And they do change positions all over the map while you're sitting here. So we're just sitting here waiting for that light to go away so that we can move ahead. And the other danger is that rope. So I've died probably like 4 times to rope in this map in particular, or to this boss. So you got to go real slow, take your time. There's no rush. And then what you want to do is find these spotlights. So there's one right here. You see the little red light. We need to pull that lever until the spotlight actually points at Eye Bloom. Once it turns green, then you got it on him. So just take your time each turn. And it's about to turn green. There we go. Now we can leave that there. The lights won't turn on until you pull a lever as well. So there's more spotlights we got to do. There aren't as many because we are solo. But if you're like with another player, then there's going to be a lot more spotlights you got to do. I think there are like 5 or 6 of them. So here's another one. You just got to, like I said, be really careful of those ropes because you're going to die if you aren't. So you really want to use your flashlight or lantern whenever you're traveling around here. Don't worry about his tentacle, by the way. It doesn't hit you. Like if you see it on the ground, I thought it would like hurt me. But it doesn't do anything. It just goes right through you. So you don't have to worry about those. Again, you just have to watch out for rope and the eyes. So technically I was kind of looking at them, but there's a rope right there. So now we just go up here, turn this thing around to green. And pretty much you're just going to go all the way completely around him, looking for all the spotlights, turn them all green. And then we got to find the power switch. So be real careful. Use your lights, like I said. So there's 2 ropes right here. What we're doing now is kind of looking for any more spotlights we might have missed. But I think... yeah, I don't see it yet. It turns out the switch is on the other side, so we're going to discover that shortly here. By the way, if you're having trouble finding the switch, if you just wait a while, I think it's like several minutes. Not sure how exactly long, but it'll actually highlight, so it'll be real easy for you to spot it later. It'll outline for you, so it'll show you exactly where you need to go. Usually it's a little bit closer to Eye Bloom or Eye Gloom. I don't remember his name. It's Eye Gloom or Eye Bloom. Someone can correct me in the comments. They always do. Oh, there's the switch right there on the top right. So we just need to head over there. Just take your time with these ropes. There it is. So see how it outlines? Because it's been long enough. It's basically trying to help you, which is really nice of the devs to do. There it is. Go and switch it. You'll notice he's now on fire. So it burns the eye, and all the little minion eyes are basically dead as well. You still have to worry about ropes though. So don't just like go hauling butt, you know, just actually like take a look around. See, there's a rope right there. I could have ended up accidentally getting roped. Now, there are different like signs around the map, like a little bear and stuff, and like all kinds of like weird scribbles. To my knowledge, they don't mean anything yet, but they might later. I was thinking maybe there would be like hidden stuff, like, you know, a teddy bear or something, but I haven't seen anything like that. According to the people on the Discord, they're saying it's not in a game right now. The nice thing about items in the game, though, is if you do acquire them from like chests or even like just through Robux or whatever, even through coins, you get to keep them in your inventory. And so what you do is hit F to your backpack, and then you can equip and unequip stuff. So the cool thing about this though is if you set up your booth inside the lobby, there's a chance it's going to show up like this to players that are actually doing their run, and then they could buy stuff from you. I don't know. I don't think I explained that earlier. So you can make Robux off of someone and help them beat the game just by selling stuff in the lobby. There's a Raven. We just got to hide real quick. Whenever Timmy is glowing like this, you see how he's got like little particles and he's glowing like gold? That means he's got coins for you. So if you go run up to him, you can either use it as a light source, like if you really want to be able to see around, or you can just grab the coins. I'm just going to grab them, but you could use them as a light source. It's pretty funny. So this is Shadow. This is the next boss you're going to encounter. He's not that bad as long as you know how to beat him, which I'm going to explain how. So the first thing when you go in here, it's going to show a little animation sequence. He looks intimidating. He looks really, really dangerous, but he's not that bad. So what you're really looking for is a piece of paper inside of one of the rooms. It's going to be glowing and sparkling and all shiny, similar to like finding a key, I guess. So just kind of peek around inside these rooms. While you're going around, you're going to see these little blue lights inside the rooms, right? So you see there's you can kind of see in the distance. There's a red button, by the way. You're going to have to deal with that a little bit later. But right here, see that green? We're going to come back to that in a sec. It's not green, it's blue. There's a piece of paper, so it's going to be shining. You need this. So basically, you can see the 1, 2, and 3. And then there's dots or numbers next to it. So look for the Roman numerals, and you're going to match that to the paper. So this is a 2, and it wants it to be 1, right? So that's fine. And then we go to the next one, and there should only be 3 in here that we need to do. Here's another one. We already know it's going to be 4. There we go. And then now we're looking for the last one, which should just be 2. So we're looking for a number 1, and that's going to be 2 dots. So there's going to be another blue thing in here. I think did we just do this one? Yeah, this is it right here. So this one needs to go down to 2. And don't worry, as long as you get it right the first time, it'll work. So we have all the combinations correct. Now you got to go run over to this green button, press the button to open the exit, and then you're good. Here's some tips on beating Shadow. I kind of did a speed run on that one. It was really easy. But if you're struggling with them, a couple tips. One, if he hits you, you're going to take some damage. So just keep some health potions on you and just heal yourself, okay? So you can heal yourself and take hits as much as you need to. Just keep healing yourself. He's only going to be able to kill you if you run out of health. So he's not like Figure where he eats you or anything like that. You could take a lot of hits from Shadow. You want to keep running when he's chasing you. And oh, look at Timmy with the piano. It's so awesome. I'll let you listen to his tunes. Dude, he's so good. It's so awesome that they put him on a piano. But yeah, pretty much just run away from him. You can also hide from him. I don't recommend hiding. You probably will die. So just bring potions. Now this final stretch is like, I want to say like 3, 4, 5. I think it's about like 5 rooms that are like bridges that are pretty much identical. And you just have to make sure you keep hiding from Raven over and over. He just keeps coming. So just go through here, keep your light, ideally a flashlight or a lantern. If you don't, that's no big deal. There's, lightning that kind of lights it up. But this is like the greenhouse inside doors. Basically, that's what it is. So you got like the rush coming through all the time. It's the same thing. It's literally the greenhouse equivalent. Difference being is we have Timmy's awesome music. Just go in as soon as you see. Only when you see the ravens do you jump in, by the way. And then if it starts getting too green, then you need to get out before you're going to take damage. So being good at Raven is kind of key to being the next boss. Or I don't want to call it boss. It's more like the final challenge because there's not really a boss there. Like it's just Raven over and over and over. Definitely the hardest part of this game. Like everything that we just did is really, really easy, but that's the hardest part. By the way, if your flashlight's not really working or lightening things up, just flick your camera up and it'll help. Okay, here's the final boss. It's not really boss. Final challenge. So right here, you got to free Timmy with the ritual. The ritual is very, very straightforward. There's no mystery here, okay? This is completely optional, but you can sit up here and wait for the first Raven. It takes a little while. Like, it takes about 30, 40 seconds anyway, so you can technically just skip this part and go straight down there. See, I already have Timmy up here. I brought him up just so it'd be easier for me to like grab him later. But you gotta wait for Raven. He's just blasting through the maze, all right? So he's just trailing the entire maze, looking to kill someone. He does spawn in the center of the maze, which means you have 0 warning. As soon as it does a little flickering, blinking, you want to hide. So there's a bunch of stuff you need to know about this maze. Right here, you can see the little red connections. That tells you where the fire like piles are. So you can see like the red cracks in the ground. They basically hint of where a fire stack is. Usually they're going to be pretty close to them. They're not always, but usually they are. There's a couple other dangers inside there. One is you don't have that much time before Raven comes back. So we're already kind of going back up here, just hiding from Raven, which is a little harder because it takes a long time for him to finally clear the maze. It's not like the usual hiding that you did, in the previous levels. It's like twice as long. So ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to find torches in the maze to light all these fire stacks. So it does take a little while, you got to find them. Every single time you play this too, it's different and it takes up time. So you got to find where all the different torches are. In this case, I had really, really bad luck because the torches are kind of far away. This is the middle area, by the way. This is like the center. And this is the altar right here that you're going to have to bring Timid to later. And see these traps. I'm going to explain this. So I'm already ready for this lockpick. But I just got trapped by the birdcage and it's terrible. So now I'm stuck to like hiding in here and you just saw it blinked, right? So it flickered. I have to hide right away because if you don't hide right away, you're probably going to instant die. He doesn't give you any warning. When he spawns right before these his ravens show up, right before the gray turned on. See the green? We need to get out and back in. So you kind of have to like go in twice to avoid damage. So as long as he's cleared the area, you're safe to be able to, I technically didn't even need to go back in, but I just did it for safety. So I already have a torch here. Again, look at those grates on the ground. They're like little vents on the ground. Those are the birdcage traps. And the only way to get out is to use your lockpick. And see right there, you got to be really careful. It gets even harder when you're carrying Timmy because Timmy does not have a light source while you're carrying him. He only has the light source while he's on the ground. So it gets really, really dark. You need to memorize where all those little vents are. Otherwise, while you're carrying him, you're probably going to get trapped. So make sure you have lockpicks if you can for this final area. And I'm equipping another one just in case. So ultimately, the goal of this is to light all of the fire pyres. I guess they're wood. I call them wood stacks, but they're basically pyres. And the nice thing about it is the more you light, the more you can see, right? So we only have one down there right now. We need to go get another torch. The torches are all in the back right now. Again, it's completely RNG, so you can't memorize like the locations of everything. But we got to go find them back here. And they're all back here. So let me grab this guy. Now we got to run to hide. There we go. So we got the flickering. Now we're just going to hang out up here. Wait for it to pass. By the way, if you're going too slow, you can always use the hot pepper and it'll help you kind of run a little faster, like almost like normal speed if you're trying to get to safety. So now we got to go find a fire pyre. There's one. That's going to be 2 of 4 right there. You got to make sure you have a flashlight because you got to watch out for those little vents on the ground. And then now we go back out. So pretty much you're trying to do like one task at a time. Take your time on this because you spent already, 30 something minutes getting to this point. You might as well like take your time. So here's one. And there's another one right there. So there's 2 of them here. So you can just, hide out here. It's just really, really like risky. But when you're this far back, you might want to hide out here. So we're going to pop in a little early. We're not going to wait for the gray or, black and white mode. And we got to wait for him to like clear this area. There he goes. He's got to head over there and he's got to come back. There he goes. So technically right now I can pop out safely. And I do. I do it a little early here. But we're pretty much safe in here because he's already cleared this area. All right, so we got a torch. We just need to go and find the stack. There it is. Again, you see the red streaks in the ground. Make sure you equip your torch for it first too. There we go. So we got one more stack or pyre in here. So we're going to bring Timmy with us this time just so he's a little closer because ultimately after we light all the pyres, we got to bring him to the center altar. And that's how we get, basically that's how we finish. There's no boss to beat. You're just avoiding Raven right here. Okay, here's the pyre we need. So we're going to drop him right here. Got the torch. There we go. We got all pyres. Now we're just going to bring him back with us in a little bit. And we're just going to go hide real quick and then we'll go pick him back up. You'll notice the music starts picking up too. This is a bad spot. It's turning green. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. He hasn't gone here yet. There we go. And there, he's about to clear this area. There he goes. Took him forever. All right, he actually ended there. That's funny. Gotta be really careful of the vents because we're gonna get caged. There we go. Pretty close. Jeez, so hard to see vents. If you're really good at mazes, it's gonna be really easy for you. Go pick Timmy back up. There we go. We just got to find the middle area. And here it is. All we got to do is put them on the altar and we're good. Just use it. And it's game. GG's. So, of course, you're going to get the badge. And there's a really nice sneak peek to the next update here. You're going to see something crazy. Keep watching. Keep an eye on that bottom left area. Look at the ground cracking. Something's about to come through, dude. Right there. Crazy. It's not over. Let's go. Anyway, I hope this helped you get the badge. Hope you enjoy Haunt. It's really nice to have another Doors-inspired game to play. We're still waiting for Pressure, by the way. There's still another game called Pressure that we're waiting on that is Doors-inspired as well. I already made a video on that game. If you want to check it out, I show a bunch of entities in there. Definitely a cool game. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Till next time, happy grinding. Peace.